want to learn how to play the piano, but you're not sure where to start? Well, here on this channel, we create content that are geared for the beginner, the intermediate, and advanced. Today's lesson is geared for the beginner. Let's get right into it. The main objective for today's lesson is for the beginner to learn about the musical alphabet, the C major scales, intervals, chords, and inversion. I also want you to learn the names of all the notes on the piano and just to learn your way around the keyboard. Let's get started with the musical alphabet. First of all, musical letters are taken from the first 7 letters of the alphabet, and these are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now, these can be written on staff and stave for notation purposes, but today we're going to be doing a practical demonstration of how these applied to the keyboard. Let us look at the C major scale. Now, the letter C can be found before every 2 black keys on the keyboard. So if you notice on the keyboard, you have 2 sets of black keys, then you have 3 sets, then you have 2 sets, and it repeats like this all the way out. Now, to the left of every 2 black key, you find C. Depending on the size of your keyboard, you could find a number of C's. But before every 2 black keys, to the left, that's where you find C. Now, to the right of every 2 black key, you find E. And you know, I could go on and on, because to the left of every 3 black keys, you find F. And to the right of every 3 black key, you find B. And in between, you find, in between every 2 black keys, you find D. And in between every 3 black key, you find A, and G. But today, our main focus is going to be on C and where to find middle C on the keyboard. On the keyboard, middle C can be found in the middle of the keyboard. For example, this keyboard, which is a 7-octave keyboard, middle C is C4. Depending on the size of your keyboard, it could either be C3 or even C2. But generally on a piano-sized keyboard, it's going to be C4. Now that we know where middle C is, let's take a look at the name of the notes. Now for the black keys, their name derives from the white key. So C, we go up, we get C sharp. D, we go up, we get D sharp. Then we have E, F, we go up to a black key, we get F sharp. G, we go up, we get G sharp. A, we go up, we get A sharp. B, and back to C. As long as you're in ascending mode, going up, the notes are sharp. However, if you're in descending mode, for example, you're going down. Now you have C, then you have B, then you have B flat, down to A, then to A flat, G, then G flat, down to F, down to E, then E flat, then D, then D flat. So ascending, going up, your notes are sharp. Coming down, your notes are flat. That's very key to learn. So now let us take a closer look at intervals. C to D is known as a major second. C to E is known as a major third. C to F is known as a perfect fourth. C to G is known as a perfect fifth. C to A is called a major sixth. C to B is called a major seventh, and C to C is called an octave. However, we have, different terminologies that we can use in describing the size of an interval, which, for example, C to C sharp would be called a minor second. C to E flat would be called a minor third. C to F sharp would be called a diminished fifth. The song I played at the beginning, I created at an interval of a 13 to start the song, which was just an idea of how you can use 13. Now let us look at the 5-finger positioning. Now, the way you position your finger on the keyboard is very important. When you're playing the notes, your hand should be, as though you're holding a ball, in a curved fashion, and you use your wrist to guide your movement over the key. So your wrist should be going up and down each time you're playing a note. Let's try the 5-finger position with a C major chord in your left hand. Make sure you use that wrist to help you apply pressure to each note. Try the same technique in your left hand. Play a C major chord in your right hand, and then try to play the 5-finger positioning in your left hand. Always make sure you keep your fingers in that semicircular fashion. It is very important that when you're playing, you develop the right technique. You practice the right technique from day one. It does help your development. Now, I want to show you how you can use the 5-finger positioning in playing simple song. The song I did at the beginning, it was more of an advanced way of playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, but in this demonstration, I'm going to show you a simpler way in which you can play this song. But first, let us look at inversions. Now, an inversion is just simply as it sounds. You're inverting the notes. You're moving the notes up. For example, a C major chord, you move the bottom note, you put it on top. So you invert the chord. Same thing, you move the E, you put it on top. And if you remove the G and put on top, then you're right back where you started. So this is known as root position, first inversion, second inversion, then root chord. Very important for you to grasp this, right? When you start learning to play and you start develop, you're going to realize that using your inversions help you to create interesting harmonies. So it is very important that while you know all your diatonic chords in root position, you practice your inversions as well. Now let us look at this song Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'm going to do a demonstration using root chord position. Then I'm going to do a demonstration using inversion, and then I'm just gonna add one chord, which is a G7. Let's get right into it. That's root chord position. Now let's do this using inversion. That's using inversions. Now let us try this using a G7 chord. Now to add a G7 chord to this song is very simple. What we're doing, we're just moving our thumb down a half step and we're just bringing our pinky up a half step. And there you have a G7 chord, which is F, G, and B. Let's try this now with the melody. So when you use inversion, it does help to create a more interesting harmony. So as a beginner, just a recap, you want to start first of all by learning your musical alphabet, learning your C major scale, learning the names of all the notes on the keyboard, the piano, whatever you're using. Just learn around the piano. Make sure you know the names of your sharps, your flats. You want to learn all of that. You want to understand intervals and how they work. It's the smallest distance between two notes. You also want to understand